We're midway into 2025, and I feel like so much has changed while nothing has changed, and I've gone forward in some areas, and I've stayed the same or even gone backwards in other areas. Overall, though, I feel like the first half of my year has been defined by an overall sense of aimlessness, and I'm really tired of that, so it is time for a mid-year reset. Hi, hello, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Maddie and I'm a multi-genre author. And if you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back. It means the world to me. 2025 has been a year. I'm not so sure if I can definitively say if it was like good or bad, but I would like to change that by the end of the year. I've been thinking a lot about personal autonomy lately and the ways in which it feels like we don't have any autonomy and the ways in which we're just really willing to give up our autonomy. And when I looked at the first half of 2025, I started with really good intentions. I had a few goals and I really was on the fence about self-publishing or querying my science fantasy project ACOS. I wanted to create more than I consume, but I didn't really have any strong deadlines with those goals. They were just kind of vague and ephemeral and like up in the air without definitively saying, like I said, I was just on the fence about the publishing path, and there was just so much that I didn't like clarify and define. The news lately, since all year, has been bleak, and I'm not neurotypical, so there are things that feel or that are harder for me than if your brain is all sunshine and rainbows or works as it is supposed to. However, I also know myself well enough to know that if I give myself too much grace to the point where it's not grace anymore, it's just excuses, I will sometimes take that. And I think I've definitely taken advantage of that as well. So, what were my goals at the start of 2025? My main goal for 2025 was to create more than I consume. I wanted to spend less time on my phone. I wanted to cook more, do other art things beside writing, and then just write a ton. I backslid a little bit with my phone, but I'm getting back on track with that. I haven't written as much as I would have liked, especially since shelving Project ACOS, but overall, I think I've done really good with the creating aspect of my goals. I've been cooking a lot more and I love it, and I could talk about how cooking has helped in so many other areas of my life, and maybe I will on Substack or something in the future. I've been making little trinkets and things with air dry clay, which is really fun, and it's really low maintenance because you don't need a kiln or anything. It's literally just letting it sit and dry. So that has been a really fun and low stress activity as well. My other goal was to completely write, edit, polish a science fantasy project ACOS, and I was on the fence of self-publishing or trad publishing, and then I also wanted to write TCF Book 2. I started Project ACOS pretty much as soon as The Scroll Fate published, so I spent 8 months on it before I decided to shelve it, which was really hard and a little bit demoralizing, but I think it was the right decision. I was really struggling with the story and really on the fence about publishing path and what I wanted my writing career to look like, and if I decided to self-publish, what the budget for that was, and there was just a lot of stress. And I also had to think about like ever since I have been little or but old enough to know the like publishing process, I always wanted it to be traditionally published. I wanted an agent, I wanted the contract and all of that stuff. So I do not regret self-publishing This Cruel Fate. I told the story I wanted, how I wanted it to be exactly, and I look forward to continuing to self-publish the sequels. But I think writing another story that I would have probably self-published was just kind of getting in the way of that goal I've always had, and even as an adult, like, it hasn't gone away, and I really want to prioritize pursuing that goal instead of always pushing it off. So it's always something that's like, "Oh, I want," but, I can shirk the, like, doing the work to try and go for it and have the possibility of failing. But that kind of keeps me stuck in the same place, right? And I don't want to be in the same place because we are moving forward for the rest of 2025. So what are my goals for the rest of the year? Mostly, I want to have a purpose and a clear goal, so I am not just drifting along, aimlessly writing or aimlessly doing this or aimlessly doing that. I want to have like, I'm starting here, I'm going here, and we're moving forward. So I'm going to outline and draft a novel to query, and then I'm also going to have a full chapter by chapter outline for This Cruel Fate 2 done by the end of this year. I think that those are reasonable writing goals for these next 5 months that I can safely accomplish without like burning myself out, but also it will still be a challenge. So I won't just be like drifting along, and I will have to commit time to working to it without like dreading it. I'm also committing to posting a video every other week here on YouTube. Not only is YouTube just a really great creative outlet for me, but when I'm vlogging my writing journey, it really helps me to stay accountable, to stay on track, and I'm so much better when I have like the camera and posting things and like moving forward with the writing journey than when I'm just like left to my own devices and I'm just like writing randomly and rewriting and just like not getting anywhere for almost a whole year. So yes, YouTube is my accountability buddy. While I don't completely want to like give into that like rise and grind mindset or hustle culture, I really do want to lock in on my goals and make sure that my actions are aligned with my goals, because I feel like that's the biggest cause of imposter syndrome or just a lot of like anxiety that I know that I deal with, and I'm sure so many other creatives out there deal with, especially if you are working like a day job as well. So your time is just a lot more strained. But I do really want to focus on achieving my goals in a healthy way, in a challenging way that isn't going to allow me to just so easily backslide into these like unhealthy habits that are keeping me in this same place. And I'm really looking forward to this next half of the year and seeing what I can accomplish and sticking to my goals. If you have made it this far, tell me how your year has gone. Are you looking forward to a mid-year reset? Are you reevaluating? Have you stuck with your goals completely, lost sight of them? Whatever it is, let me know. We can be on this reset journey together. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean so much to me if you could give it a thumbs up or leave a comment or subscribe to my channel. I am going to be vlogging the entire process for my novel to query, starting with the outlining process, which I have not done a very detailed outline yet, but I really want to be more of a outliner, more of a plotter than a pantser. So that is what is next for me and this channel. We are going to be, just vlogging the writing process and learning what we can, continuing to grow our skills. If you would like to keep up with me off of YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram, where I'm fairly active, TikTok, where I'm a little less active, or you can subscribe to my Substack, where I post a monthly newsletter and then some occasional like personal essays or reflective essays and things like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. I look forward to this next chapter, and I hope you'll join me for the journey. Thank you so much. Bye.